Let's hear from some of our panelists next. The first panelist is Scott Maloney, who will be speaking about mentors beyond academia, building future-focused guidance, and diving into real-life planning, decision-making, and personal growth. So let me give them the floor.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank ADollarClass Incorporated for the chance to address everyone on this conference. I'm hoping that over the next few minutes, you get an understanding of my unique profession and my even uniquer journey that led me to it. Now, let me introduce myself. My name is Scott Maloney, and I am a motivational speaker, which is not your typical career. And the journey that brought me to where I am today, from a professional standpoint, is far from typical. In fact, it started with one choice in college. In fact, what led me to where I am professionally, it started with one choice in college that nearly ended my life. See, during my senior year of college, I suffered a severe traumatic brain injury, or a TBI, after falling 3 stories while under the influence of alcohol. As a result of a single decision, the trajectory of my life was changed forever. A single decision that led to every parent's worst nightmare, regardless of age, gender, orientation, color, creed, or cultural background. Every parent's worst nightmare is to receive that phone call from the campus police department that says your child has been hurt on campus and that you should get to the hospital ASAP, and that's the only info they can give you. And when my folks got to the ER at almost 3 o'clock in the morning, they were told the news that no parent should hear. Your child is gone. It's clinically brain dead. But here's the thing. I wasn't dead. You can call me, I've been called a lot of things, but you can't call me dead. After several brain surgeries, a fasciotomy, a craniotomy, and after over 3 weeks in a coma, months in a semi-coma, and after the long hospital stay, and after the years of physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, I learned a lot of life lessons about resiliency and responsibility. But before I could build a career path, I had to rebuild my life from scratch. My future went from being concerned with my GPA to being concerned with my TBI. After I learned those lessons, I learned even more things that I'd never learned in the classroom. How to plan for real life, how to make decisions, and how to create a personal brand that would open doors. Now, when I used to think of a brand, I thought of the Nike Swish or the McDonald's Golden Arches or Apple's Apple. I'd come to learn that sometimes a brand is when you're branded for your worst moment or your biggest mistake. Case in point, when people speak about me, even to this day, I'm described as Scott. He's the guy that fell out of a window in college. He was never the same, or something along those lines. I can't change how others describe me. I've come to accept that. But when I hold on to the optimism, I think in some aspects, I may be better than I was. I make good choices. I'm responsible, and I'm well aware, very well aware, that no one is invincible, which is a lesson I learned the hard way. I remember years ago, a woman that I hadn't seen since high school, she actually said, "Oh, Scott, I thought you died." First I thought to myself, well, that's a weird way to start a conversation. Then I said something along the lines of, well, I didn't. That was my brand. My brand was being dead. And TBI was my scarlet letter. I realized I could either accept that label or rewrite it. So after my recovery, which is still ongoing, an employee at my school who was also a good friend's mother. She suggested that I tell the story to the undergrads, to the student body in my own words. I was apprehensive. I mean, I wasn't the best public speaker. I was unpolished and still healing. I was still undergoing therapy. But she assured me that most of the students already knew what had happened to me. But they'd want to hear it from me, like literally from the horse's mouth kind of thing. Then she casually mentioned that I'd get paid. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. That'd be cool. So in April of 2006, I gave my first talk at my alma mater, Becker College in Worcester, Massachusetts, which is where I was hurt, to an auditorium full of students. That one event led to invitations from other schools in the Worcester area. And eventually I was invited to speak to every high school in Providence, Rhode Island. Now, I should clarify, this wasn't some rapid fire career path. These gigs didn't roll in overnight. They came months, sometimes years apart. So just imagine years of sending out emails, leaving voicemails, reaching out on LinkedIn and getting the class, thanks for your message, we'll be in touch. After sharing my story to anyone that would listen, often for free, after years of hard work and refining my message, I eventually built a career traveling the country with a mix of humor, honesty, emotion, and life lessons that I learned in my travels and life experiences to inspire audiences to make better choices, to live intentionally, and appreciate and truly believe in the power of positive thinking. So there's a very successful speaker named Victor Antonio Gonzalez. I wonder if he's watching. He gives a simple advice that I'd give to someone who wants to be successful in any field that they're pursuing. Pretty simple advice, really. Find someone you aspire to have the same, if not more, success in, and replicate their standard operating procedure, but do it in your own unique, customized style, and personalized way. For example, the example I give is the OG QB GOAT. You know that is the GOAT, Tom Brady. As a kid, he wanted to be just like Joe Montana. And through years of discipline and a great work ethic, he didn't achieve the level of success in Montana had. He surpassed it by a lot. Just like Brady's passion is football on the gridiron, my passion is speaking to audiences on stage, like Tony Robbins, James Malinchak, and Brittany Richmond. So when I was beginning to succeed, and to clarify, I'm 100% not comparing myself to Brady, but you can kind of see the correlation and relationship. You know? I took Brittany and Malinchak and Tony Robbins' expertise in the speaking industry, and I would adopt that business practice off stage and use my own style when speaking on stage. I hope that makes sense. I didn't learn these lessons in the classroom, and if I could do it all over again, I wouldn't have to. I went through a terrible experience, the hardest possible way, and I hope that you don't have to. So let's fast forward to the present day. I've spoken to over 80,000 individuals from all walks of life in 28 states. And sharing my story is my passion in every sense of the word. And if I make the difference in just one life, it's a story worth telling. So here's what I'd like you to remember. Here's the takeaway. Start seeking mentors, just like role models, but kind of professional or business role models. And even if they don't know they are one to you, if they're a kind person of good moral fiber, you're likely flattered. Seek someone who can help your professional life, not just your academics. When you're ready, become that mentor to someone else. So I'll summarize what I learned from my senior year of college to the present day. Here's my summary. Life is seldom linear. I've been asked countless times by people who want to speak like I do how to get started. And I always tell them that it takes time and a whole lot of work. It doesn't just happen overnight. There's no such thing as an overnight success, in my opinion. When I say that, it takes time and a whole lot of work, it doesn't happen overnight, that's not the answer people want to hear. That's how it is in my line of work and in most professional fields. Now, I can't espouse any professional advice from any other field, other than my own. So as a speaker, first, you need to figure out the specific type of people you want to help. The students, veterans, the homeless veterans, TBI survivors, or anyone that has faced adversity. Then you got to create a good elevator pitch to sum up what you do. And you have to learn it. You have to memorize it. And most importantly, you have to do it. You got to walk that talk. You got to be the verb, not the noun. There was a successful screenwriter named Douglas Adams. You might have heard of him. He had a number of quotes, but one that really hits the nail on the head. He said, "I may not have gone where I intended to go, but I think I ended up where I needed to be." I can relate to that. That sums up my journey. So to wrap it up, I'd like to thank ADollarClass Incorporated for allowing me the opportunity to speak today. I really hope you got something. I hope you have a little more understanding of my profession and the impact that mentors have had on me. If you'd like to continue the conversation, I'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions that you want to ask me individually, I'd love to hear from you. Just check out scottmaloney.com or connect with me on social media, which are linked to my site as well. So I hope everyone has a great rest of the conference, a great day, and an even better tomorrow. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Scott Maloney, for sharing with us. And I'm sure we all learned so much.